Hi, Mr. Jackson. Sorry I couldn't do a Zoom call. I'm anxious and I don't want to cry while talking to you. It's always bad. I'm tearing up right now. Sorry. But as you know, I did the digestive system for my 3D model, and I thought a nice way to follow that up, since the digestive system is a smooth muscle, I thought I would do the muscular system. So the muscular system. So what are the organs of the muscular system? There's not one specific organ for the muscular system because it's your muscles. It's your little things right there. But the muscular system is made up of 3 muscles. There is the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle is attached to the bones. It is striated, and it is voluntary, meaning right now, I'm thinking of moving my arm like this. Woo! And then the next one is smooth muscles. Smooth muscles are in the walls of organs, skin, walls of blood vessels, and are not striated and are involuntary, meaning you don't think about them. They just do it on their own. Like, it would be a trouble to think in my stomach, like, digest, go through, or like peristalsis in my throat, because I'd be terrible if I had to think about that and I'd choke. When I do think about that, I do choke, so it's fine. And then the last one is a cardiac muscle, which is located in the wall of the heart. It's striated, and it's involuntary, so I don't have to think about pump, pump, pump. It just does it on its own. And what's really cool is that it's intercalated disc. So the organs of the skeletal muscle is skeletal muscle tissue, nervous tissue, blood, connective tissue. Connective tissue just kind of is like it connects your tissue to the thing. Fascia, which is dense connective tissue covering, so like right under the skin is fascia, or like we saw on our cats, which was a very thin layer of fascia. Tendons, which connects bones to muscle, or muscle to bones. It's muscle to bones, so it's like right here is what I can feel my calcanean tendon on my calcanean. And then aperosis is a broad sheath that covers large areas. And so the muscle covering is the epimysium. It's a sheath of fibrotic elastic tissue surrounding the muscle. So it's this one, epimysium. And then you have your paramysium, which is a connective tissue surrounding bundles of muscle fibers. So here's like a muscle fiber, and it's like paramysium, I think. Yeah, paramysium. And then endomysium is wispy layer of areola connective tissue that sheaths each individual myocyte. So here's a myocyte or myofibril, and it just ensheaths that, which is really cool. And then I'll come back to the sarcomere in a minute. And so skeletal muscle fibers. So fascia cells are bundle structures such as nerve or muscle fibers or conducting that things. You have muscle cells. You have myofibrils, which play a fundamental role in muscle contraction, and we will talk about that later in the slide. And then you have thick and thin myofilaments, actin and myosin proteins, and tintin is an elastic myofilament, which is really cool. Skeletal muscle fibers. So you have the sarcolemma, which is a cell membrane of that, and it's striated. I don't think I have the sarcolemma on here. Yeah, no. The sarcolemma is right here, and it's kind of right outside. And in the sarcolemma, it has its own nucleus, which is really cool. Sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm reticulum is what I like, is the membrane-bound structure found within a muscle cells that are very similar to the endocrine reticulum and other cells. You have a transverse tubule, triad, synastry of sarcoplasmic reticulum, and T-tubule. And then in those, so there's actin myofilament, which is a protein filament in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic that forms a part of the cytoskeleton, which is just the skeleton of your cells. And then myofilament is key components of muscles. They overlap with filaments in an orderly array, making a repeating pattern from Z line to Z line. Oh, no, just basic units of contraction. They're in the sarcomere, which is Z line to Z line. I'll show that in a minute. And then the sarcomere is striated, the skeletal muscle forming a repeating pattern contraction, Z line to Z line. And as you can see here, Z line to Z line of sarcomere, you have in that you have your I band, your A band, and your I band again. Thin actin filaments are right here in the I band, and thick actin filaments are right there. Yeah. Let me muscle contraction. So muscle contraction is really cool. What? Muscle contraction. So for muscle contraction, so there needs to be a stimulus. Like say running. You're running, and what happens is the nerve impulses causes the release of acetylcholine from the synaptic vesicles, and acetylcholine then binds to acetylcholine receptors, motor neurons, and the plate generates a muscle impulse. So it's like, and muscle impulses eventually reach the SR and the serotonin. Yep. Did I not press that? excitation of a contraction. So a muscle impulse causes the SR to release calcium ions into the cytosol, and the calcium ions bind to troponin to change its shape. So instead of being like this, they're like that. The position of the troponin is altered, binding the sites on actin are now exposed. So actin is exposed while the troponin is on top. They're not touching anymore. Actin and myosin molecules bind to myosin cross bridges, so they connect right there, and that's how you get that. And then relaxation. For relaxation, the body releases acetylcholine esterase. You know I can't say that word, Jackson. I'm sorry. Acetylcholine esterase that rapidly decomposes the acetylcholine and the troponin and myosin interact, blocking the binding sites on actin, causing a relaxation of the muscle. So you might be running, and then once you stop stimulating it, you calm down and all that. The acetylcholine casastrate, I can't say it, I'm sorry, Jackson, relaxes your body, and you get to that point where they interact, blocking the binding sites, so they're not binded anymore, interacting with one another, and it causes the relaxation. And then to end this slideshow, I put a funny little meme. It says, who wants pectoral major and who wants gastrocnemius? Thanksgiving. Ding. Wait, that is all from Steph, back up. That is all for my presentation. I hope I did well. I'm gonna miss you, Jackson, and I hope you have a great summer.